Yo, what is up, my tubers? We're back for some more drafting here on Arena. I said I was going to do some Dominaria Remastered, but bad news. Magic Online is currently on an extended downtime. It was supposed to be up earlier today, and I was going to record it, but looks like we're going to have to prolong that by another day or two, so we're going to jump into some more Bro War drafts, which is not a bad thing. I'm in like the top 250 right now, so I think if you place in the top 200 this month, you get an extra qualification or whatever. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. Let's move into our pick one, pack one. Harbin, Vanguard, Aviator. Pretty damn good card. 2 mana, 3/2 flyer. Generally, the most of the times, if you can get the attack trigger to go off, it is very hard to lose when you have that many flying creatures. I think I'm going to go with it here. I normally wouldn't take this, but the card is just great. And kind of want to swap things up a little bit. So passing like a Sarenth Steelseeker here, Arbalist Engineers. Let's take this Vanguard and then see if we can maybe do some blue-white soldiers or something. I mean, we're getting past a fortified beachhead after first picking a Harbin. Is it the best card in the pack? Absolutely not. Does it go online with our first pick? Hell yeah, it does. What is the best card here? If we wanted to stay maximum open, we'd take the Horned Stoneseeker, I suppose. Pristine Talisman is decent. A couple of soldiers here. I like Animation. Stalwart's also a soldier. Refractor's good. I guess there's a chance that this could wheel. I don't know. I'm kind of down to just second pick the fortified beachhead after first picking Harbin and then just going full on soldiers from here on out, just forcing it kind of. Yeah, I mean, let's take the ambush paratrooper now, third choice. This is just a good card anyways. It doesn't look like much, but it's flying, so it does apply a little bit of pressure, and the activated ability later on is really solid. Another Mightstone's animation, Stern Lesson. Let's do this. Blue-white soldiers online. Getting a fourth pick, Eosion Frontliner. Again, not a card I generally care for, but in the right deck, hey, it can do a thing. Passing Remorse. Not too much else here. Recruitment Officer. This is the third Mightstone's animation, by the way. Second Remorse. Seeing a Combat Courier go along. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of going to be like a budget constructed deck. Budget block constructed. As we get a Chaplain versus a Warlord's Elite. I like the flyer, but this is not a soldier, whereas the Elite is a soldier. The nice thing about the Chaplain is that it does currently hit any of my creatures to get back in my hand, though. Well, same thing that the Chaplain hits a small creature, any of these creatures to put in my hand. The Warlord's Elite's also really, really good with a low creature curve out as well, right? Because sometimes you can curve out on this turn 3, like 1-drop, 2-drop, Warlord's Elite. I'm kind of down just to take the flyer here, though. I think the flyer plus the synergy's slightly better. The one thing mass production has going for it is it's a really easy way to trigger the Harbin since you make 4 soldiers. And I guess with Fortified Beachhead, it makes sense to take it since we're not losing out on much here. I mean, I will play Military Discipline, but I'm not going to take it early. Marshall, another good one. Great. Okay, yeah, we're just full-on blue-white flyers / soldiers. Things like Machine Over Matter would be really good in this deck, too. It's just a nice tempo card. A card like Sigil of Valor is going to be good here as well. We're going to go really, really wide, or rather, we're going to have a bunch of creatures, so sometimes if the opponent just has like a random 3/5 reach that none of my creatures can attack into, it'll be good to have something like a Valor. That's a good start. I would guess I'm going to end up cutting mass production as we see a second one here. But it does have good synergy in our deck. Do we need a second mass production, though? That is a little more questionable. Could just take Refractor. Another pretty late Stalwart. Yeah, what the hell? Maybe we try both mass productions. There is another Ambush Paratrooper that could come back around. And so I suppose with Sigil of Valor, Harbin, and the paratroopers, maybe double mass production is something that we don't want to overlook. Let's get that Machine Over Matter now. Just a good tempo card over nothing. What would be the best card for us to open? You know what I still have not gotten in this format? A Jace. Or not Jace. Is it Jace? No. What's the Planeswalker? Tezzeret? Oh my gosh, why can't I remember the Planeswalker that's in this format? Teferi? It's Teferi, right? It's Teferi. Yeah, the one that makes the token that grows whenever you draw a card. I still have not had that card in Bro War. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. I'm beyond hoping that I can get a meld off, because I don't think we'll be playing enough of that format to try to get meld anymore, but yeah, Teferi. Still have not had a chance to play with that. Crazy. Okay, looks like the Paratrooper did not come back around. I would prefer Scatter Ray over Defabricate, but I don't care for either of those cards particularly. Okay, our soldier count is currently 6 plus... Oh, there's the Discipline last pick. Plus the double mass production. That is a good one to open. Autonomous Assembler is real solid. If you're playing it on turn 2, it's good. If you're playing it on turn 5, it's good. Lauren would be okay here. Recommission's fantastic. Scrapworks Cohort might be the best card that we could get common-wise. But I don't think we take it over the Assembler here. I would guess that I'm probably going to play this on turn 2 a lot of the time. And just get it online ASAP. What are we sitting at? 3 rares now? The Beachhead, the Assembler, the Harbin. This is a good start. I think I've cut off blue-white hard enough that if we see any of those tacticians or whatever they're called, the Lords, wouldn't be surprising to get them pretty late. The blue-white uncommon, right? That pumps up all your soldiers. We're missing more interaction. We did get that machine over matter, but a couple of arrest type effects would be good here. Next choice, Spotter Thopter is decent. Reconstructed Thopter is decent. And Supply Drop, I think, is actually really good in a deck like this, too. I think the Thopter takes it, though. It's just a little bit too good, maybe? I mean, we're not going to be ramping in this deck, and I have no Power Stone production, so... I guess this is generally going to be 4 mana, 2/3 Scry 2. Is that good enough? That might actually be worse than Reconstructed Thopter then, now that I think about it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just take the cheaper one. There's a prison sentence we were looking for. Great. No other considerations here. Don't think we need... I mean, I guess the Courier would be good, but we don't need a second Thopter right now. Okay, good pickup. Another Chaplain or a Hulking Metamorph. Metamorph is real good. Even on 4 mana, that's still worth it, I think. 4 mana, 3/3, copy any of these. That's pretty close, actually. Chaplain, really good. Metamorph, really good. I guess Lodestone Golem could also be fine, but frequently we're going to be copying like a flyer with this, right? So it's going to be a 4 mana 3/3 flyer with maybe some random upside. Like if we copy a Chaplain, we get the trigger. Copy Paratrooper, that's great. Copy Air Marshal, that's good for redundancy. Yeah. Hurkyl now. Also, how many Couriers have we seen go around? Quite a few. We have 1 instant, 2 sorceries, 2 enchantments, and it's not even a soldier. I mean, it has the highest upside, but again, that does not seem like something that's all that great in our deck. And you know what? Maybe I'm taking this involuntary cooldown. I didn't even note this at first, but this is a really good tempo type card in this deck. Yeah. This is like a double removal spell for 4 mana. Glossed over that. We're getting another Hurkyl. Like I said, I don't even know if I want that. We're just taking like a Vanguard here for another 2 mana soldier. Wings would also be pretty solid. The only awkward thing here is if I pass back-to-back Hurkyl, Somebody on my right might start taking blue. But I guess we're pretty solid on number of playables right now. Biggest cuts for me are going to be like Survivor of Coreless. Maybe a mass production or two. There's a Wing Commando. There's a Lauren's Escape. There's another Courier. There's a Marshal. 4 good pickups here. Is the first Escape better than the first Wing Commando? It might be. We have a few good creatures with protecting, like the Assembler and the Harbin. I think we want to make sure we get one of these. Again, still kind of sending some weird blue signals, though. I mean, maybe it's easier to pick up Escape than it is Wing Commando. I'll just take the flyer. As we get a Prospector here, no. Archaeologist here, no. Yep, don't see us running any of these cards. Again, wheeling some stuff that I don't really care for. Maybe the Amulet is like somewhat playable. Lots of Stalwarts going around. Some like borderline playables here. Bonesaw. Probably not, even with the number of flyers we have. Do we want that? Medic is a soldier, but I don't think that's good enough. Although I will say, I suppose with a bunch of flyers, the medic actually holds off the ground pretty well. Plus, it's nice with Sigil of Valor, so I guess maybe there's a small chance I end up running that. These are all pretty bad. Supply drop wield, good. We'll take that over rock. And that's only pack 2. Full pack 3 to round out the deck and get some goodies. Leaves me feeling very confident with where we are. Opened a Drafna this time. Man, Hurkyl and Drafna. This does not seem good in our deck. We have some number of artifact spells, but not enough to really utilize this one. So what are we looking at here? We have like an Aeronaut Cavalry, which I haven't seen any of those yet. So that's the probable choice. The 10th Courier we've seen. Evolving Wilds is okay. Lesson is okay. Let's go with the Cavalry here. I think I'm probably going to end up cutting these mass productions just because they're so expensive. And trying to keep our curve kind of lower. There's a nice one. Okay. Lauren of the Third Path, fantastic. Boots are fine. Another Elite, another Courier. Subjugation would be good. Yeah. No real consideration here. Lauren's just too good. And in a deck like this with a nice low curve, it's not too uncommon to start activating that ability, because a lot of times you're going to dump out your hand faster than your opponent is. And so you can utilize the extra cards while they're just like stuck with a bunch in their hand. Getting a pick 3 disenchant here. We're going to take that over, say, Star or Mutt. Another Phalanx of Vanguard is okay. More Steel Seekers going around. What does this one do again? Exile. Okay, that's bad. Second Sigil of Valor is fine. Take that over third Phalanx or first Evolving Wilds. Though if I take 2 Sigil of Valor, I might end up running one of those 6 mana spells. The, what are they called? Mass Productions. I suppose Wilds is the safe pick, isn't it? No, I'm down to try double Sigil. This is an okay removal spell in a deck like this too, right? Exile target non-land permanent for as long as that card remains exiled. Its owner may play it. A spell cat. Yeah. It's like a suspend card, although there's a second Trooper here and another Marshal. I guess I'd rather just take the Paratrooper, wouldn't I? Easiest cut so far is Medic. Damn, Philology Vanguard here. Do we want Desynchronize for another interactive card? We have Disenchant, Discipline, Lauren, Prison Sentence, Supply Drop, Cooldown. We probably don't need that. Combat Courier, is that good enough here? Or just another Vanguard? I guess we'll take the first Combat Courier. Okay, we are going to get a Warlord's Elite after all, too. Fantastic. And then last few pickups here, not going to matter, most likely. I think I'm going to end up cutting the first supply drop even since we picked up the second sigil. Or maybe supply drop is better than military discipline. No, that's probably fine. Pretty sweet deck. I think I'm happy with not running the mass productions, but I do think they would be okay in the deck. If we wanted to go a little bit wider, right? Double Paratrooper, Harbin, 2 Sigil. I mean, I guess maybe it's probably still worth running 1. I don't know. I don't really care for a 6-mana spell in this deck, but I can cut the Combat Courier, I guess. And 16 lands still should be okay here. Gonna go 9-7. No, 8-7 in favor of white. This looks like a really, really solid blue-white deck to me. Alright, let's go. Blue-white soldiers. I think it said rank 255 going into this. See if we can get a nice little trophy, maybe breach the top 200 and keep that for the remainder of the month. Round 1 fight. On the draw. Good enough hand. A couple different options on turn 2, it looks like. Depending on what we see from the opponent. Did not hit a land. Alright, let's go ahead and get the Autonomous online. Hoping to hit a land next turn. Oh, they're going to copy it. I'm fine with that. Did not hit the land. We do get to attack first, because if they block, we just pump. I think I'm just going to main phase disenchant that so they can't untap with Lauren's Escape or the Gaia's Gift. It's fine. Well, I guess we're just going to pass. Getting kind of unlucky there. Would not be surprised to see a fight effect as well. Oh, they just have straight up disenchant, sure. Well, remember, that mass production... Oh, I know, it wasn't replacing a land, was it? Never mind. I guess the opponent's also missing lands, but... Eh. 4 is a lot more than 2. Okay, well, 6 draws, no land. I'm feeling really, really sad. I don't think I can double block, because if we draw land, we can play out the elite, so I'll take it and probably end up bouncing something end of turn here. Hoping we draw a land finally. Sure. Bounce that, they gain 2 life, that's fine. Okay, that is really frustrating, but what are you gonna do? Sometimes that's magic, baby. That was 6 draw steps, no land. Seems like it would have been a pretty easy win with just 1 land drawn. Good beats. Good game 2. Maybe we'll get to play a little bit more magic this time. We're on the draw here. I think this is a keep on the draw, and again, if we just somehow brick on our 3rd land, then we just have to say, you know, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Because I don't need to hit the plains immediately. As long as we draw a land by turn 3, we'll have another play. Obviously, a plains next turn is the ideal. Alright, but no complaints. We also have more white sources in the deck than blue, you have to remember. But we do have the combo of Harbin plus the mass production, so... Yep, there's definitely a white source. Next draw. Definitely gonna draw that plains next turn. Definitely gonna get to play magic here. Feels very likely they have something, but what am I gonna do? Just, again, want to reiterate the fact that we have more white sources than blue sources. That's 5 of 7 islands. So I'm going to take 5, go to 9, they play another 3/3. Look, these drafts happen to everybody, you know? Sometimes you don't get to play magic. I think our deck is very good. Variance is swinging in the bad side of things. Just shake it off. Do our best to pick it up from here. Alright, 0-2. Look at that! Wow! Can you believe it? An actual hand that does actual things? That's a scary card. I'm not going to try to ambush their dissident by holding up Paratrooper if they just play any artifact that gets wrecked. So let's play out the Vanguard here. I totally forgot this card was in the format. That's funny. Uh-oh. We are on definitely the reverse side of things now. We have drawn 3 lands in a row. Probably going to mill a bunch of spells. Sure. Did mill 3 spells. Machine Over Matter is going to be pretty good versus Quietus Spike, at least. This is 3 to equip, too, so... That is the dream, the Dissident with the Cohort. Wonder if they're just going to go all in on the Dissident. Oh, they are letting me double block. That's a good draw. Okay, I mean, this game's gonna be rough without some good draws, but... When Audacity is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. So we do want to disenchant in response so that Audacity just goes away. And then if they unearth here, we're just going to machine over matter their dissident. If they want to equip the Quietest Spike, I'm okay with that too. It's a really good turn for them to unearth, it seems like. They did not go for it, sure. Okay, take 2. That's another really solid draw step. If they block the Vanguard, I just pump with Paratrooper. Go ahead and blow up the Mask. Again, I am not at all concerned about the Quietest Spike. That's fine. Alright, do it. Unearth. Perfect. So we might take 5 damage here, but that's no big deal. I'm guessing we only take 3. Okay, attack with all of our flyers and the Vanguard. If they just block like this, I can Paratrooper pump. So they need to double block, and then we'll just trade for the 2/2 instead, no pumps. Because I want to be able to play out double flyer here instead. I think. And I'd say there's a decent chance that I'm activating Lauren at the end of their turn. Alright. Replay the Dissident. Oh, if they're just equipping this turn, that's effectively game over, I would say. I think I'm just taking this. We would go down to 7. Sure. Okay, tag with all. Forced to block with the Dissident here. Now we pump. Alright, good luck. So even if they have like a Bouldercraft, whatever, gain 6, that's not going to be good enough. Not going to card draw here. We already have more than enough lethal on board, of course. It's fine. The Power Stone could actually be useful for us since we have the double Paratrooper. Alright, nice. So we drew a decent ratio of lands to spells, and we won the game. Though we are currently 2 times the rank that we started today, just by losing 2 rounds, so... I'm gonna need to sweep here, I think. Let's go to game number 4 and get another win, please. Okay, hand is good. 3 lands, check. Both colors, check. All castable cards. A dream come true. That's a pretty good draw, too. That helps buy us some time and go on to the offensive. Red-white. Alright, so this is probably going to be some kind of aggro mirror match. Trading's not great when we have Sigil of Valor, but maybe we can just grind them out with creatures. Try to avoid them having tricks would be great. Oh, Mardudu. And a desk. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to trade here, or at least go for a trade. No sack of the desk end of turn. They might already have a good 3 or 4 drop play, or they just don't. I don't know. I swear I sneeze every time I make a video, at least once. Pro muter, though. Alright, they are going to activate the research desk. This does allow them to at least play the spell next turn as well if they brick here. Combat Thresher and Obliterating Bolt. They might take either of those. If they have a land, they can Thresher. Okay. If they don't have a land, they can still Thresher next turn, too. Sure. So we're going to do a little bit of racing action now. Let's go ahead and smack for 2, play the Thopter, and hold up Machine over Matter, I think is the best line. And then next turn we can go like Marshal, plus Sigil, plus Equip if we want to. I love to see that. Maybe they have like a Power Stone Fracture or something. If they fracture my Wing Commando, will I save it? They're gonna go for an Obliterating Bolt. I think I do. We don't really want to bounce their Combat Thresher anyways. Alright, Commando. Let's hold up Paratrooper here. Decent chance I'm going to Paratrooper and trade with the Combat Thresher. No, I take that back. We're probably just going to try to put them on a fast clock. Bitter Reunion and a Demon. Okay, so they can cast the Bitter Reunion this turn. Because we can put them on a 2-turn air clock here, right? Flash in Paratrooper end of turn, activate Paratrooper. That's 8 damage in the air. Oh, they don't even want to offer the trade. I'm also okay with that. On second thought, maybe we're gonna go like this. Kind of like developing out another creature this way. I don't know. Spending 5 mana there just to put them on a 2-turn clock is fine, but any removal stops that plan, and then I'm a little bit behind on the board when they have so many cards in their hand, was my only thought. I think we'll offer the Vanguard trade. Sure. So we're going to take 4 here. That's fine. Okay, let's just go to combat. Even if they have a 1 removal spell here, they're still taking 5. Minimum. Sure. So we still have lethal next turn on the board. Okay, that's dead. We just go for it. If they had Disfigure, they would have cast that last turn too, right? Though this is, I guess, safer now that we drew a land. We can just go double creature here and attack with the Thopter instead. And that way we still have blockers if they do have the Disfigure. Alright, that'll work. Good stuff. So I had a couple of rough first games where we got a little bit of mana screw and variance, but when the deck can draw its colors, does some good stuff. We're 2-2 now. Game 5. Still cannot win the die roll. This is an interesting hand that definitely is a keeper. 2-drop, 3-drop removal with double sigil. And there's a blue source. Okay. I like this hand. This hand's going to be a weak to a removal heavy draw. Or if I just start flooding out. But we can put a lot of pressure on with double sigil, and if we just draw 1 or 2 more creatures to go along with this. When it's on blue-black, looks like the draw 2 archetype. Okay, let's go sigil. Equipping doesn't do anything, so we're just going to attack for 3 and then equip post-combat. And now we're hoping they either play an artifact or enchantment for me to blow up with Lauren next turn, or we draw a different creature to make the sigil that much better. Grabbed a red source. Oh, they are maybe splashing black then. Pass. Yeah. If they have a stern lesson here, they can trigger the Thopter. Oh, sure, that's fine. Probably gonna get us at some point anyways, no big deal there. I do lose my soldier for cavalry pump, though, which is kind of annoying. But I still think we're supposed to run out the 3/4 flyer anyways. Pre-combat for sigil triggers. Oilos Rock, sure. I mean, that technically gives us a target for Lauren, not a good one though. That's fine. I would guess it's probably still right to do this though, just to get it on the board and start pressuring more. And then we can just prison sentence their flyer, smack in for 3. Okay, mass production with double sigil is actually really, really freaking good. That's why we left one of them in the deck. Remember, we have 2 of the paratroopers, we have 2 sigils, we have Harbin, we have the land, so... mass production actually pretty funny in this deck. That is unfortunate. They're killing the Lauren, though. Okay, I think I attack here. They can't hit me for 9 on the board. If they don't have anything, their Tyrant has to stay back and block the Thopter. Alright, I mean, I can't block the Tyrants. I have to block the Mechanic, so this is not a bad attack from them, because they do get a flyer back. Emergency Weld. Nice. Although they didn't replay it. So that's not good. And we drew a brick too. Alright, make them chump. Fed to any interaction on our Thopter, obviously. Yep, pretty obvious they had that. So we need them to mess up here. Or we need to draw like our machine over matter or something. Nope, they're playing it smart and safe. Okay, so we have to block here. We can still draw any removal for the Tyrant, though, and that buys us an extra... well, no, because then they still... Thopter can block, so we need to top deck pretty well. And that ain't it. Alright, good beats. I mean, what can you do? I think our deck was very good. First 2 losses were just high variance, events. We kept a 2-lander, missed on 6 draws. Next one, we kept 2 islands, drew, 3 islands in a row, and then that last loss there. Just felt like we got maybe out-rared, so... I think this deck was very good. If you ran it back 10 times on average, I would say you get 4 wins, maybe 5. But that's Magic, baby! Sometimes it's just not meant to be. And I think that's something that, you know, I've just gotten used to through so much playing, and something that a lot of people could do well to understand that, yeah, sometimes you can draft a good deck like this. Sometimes you're going to fall flat on your face. Like, we could have even went 0-3 as well, right? Sometimes variance is just unfortunate. You can play your best, not make any mistakes, and still lose. So take it for a learning lesson, and we'll see you back tomorrow for some more. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.